Good morning and welcome to Rising. We have a great show for you on this Thanksgiving Day. Briahna, what do we have?
Well, we have Teslin Figaro joining us to discuss how old is too old when it comes to the age of the president. And as you get ready to partake in Black Friday shopping, if you haven't started already, we're looking at the latest numbers and whether the U.S. is imminently close to a recession.
But first, a new op-ed in the New York Times asked the question, is there a problem with Thanksgiving? According to the piece, Thanksgiving is a holiday to share gratitude, but for the last 4 years, most Americans report being plagued with political disputes. Is this characteristic of your Thanksgiving, Briahna? It's yours is just you and your mother, right?
No, it's a lot of people. And in fact,
you're going to visit your mother.
Yeah. Historically, when we had it in New York, we have a lot of people from a lot of different backgrounds, because everyone's always just transiting through New York, and my mother takes in stragglers. So it's a very diverse group. It's an ideologically diverse group. 1 year, Michael Moore showed up for reasons that were kind of random and hilarious. But there's not a ton of fighting. There is a guest that regularly comes who supports Trump, and it was not of the demographics that you would expect of a Trump supporter. But apart from my stepfather sometimes getting a little tense in those conversations, I don't know. We're a very ideologically open household. It's where
Nice.
I get it from. What about you, Robby?
That's nice to hear. I usually just spend Thanksgiving with my mom. We get along, so it's not an issue. I guess if I were to spend it with a lot of extended family members, like aunts, uncles, cousins, grandma and grandpa. My mother's parents are very politically active, interested Fox News watchers. They give me lots of feedback on my views. So we get into some political agreements and arguments. Nothing like. But I like talking about politics. I mean, we do it for a living, so it's not. Maybe for us, it's not the idea of talking about politics is not so off-putting because we're deranged people.
We're the problem.
Yes.
We're the problem at our Thanksgiving tables. Like, I do think that this whole discourse
is very weird.
It's
disturbing.
It's very. I'm a writer for an elite magazine in New York City, but I 100%. Came from Iowa or Minnesota or West Virginia or somewhere else in the country, and I am uncomfortable going back to my roots. Me personally, I mean, obviously my family is. My immediate family in particular is very progressive, so that I never had those kind of tensions. But it does seem like a weird thing to me sometimes to be trying to externalize your own conflict with your family in this way. That also seems to want to judge them without engaging with them directly. Right. You want to judge them and talk about it in the public sphere.
If that's miserable for you, don't go. Just don't go. That's fine.
Right, but also this should be an opportunity, it seems to me. And I almost relish this because I love to talk to people who are ideologically different than I am.
Yes.
It's what I do. I wish I had more opportunities to talk with people who couldn't just hang up the phone on me or leave or, block me on Twitter, who are invested in me because we're family members, because I think that's such an amazing opportunity to work through rhetorical strategies and to see what flies and what doesn't fly, what ignites rather than calms, what breaks through. And for people, and I understand that families are difficult and holidays already have a lot of baggage around them, and I'm not saying that anybody has that obligation, but I do wish that sometimes people would see it more as an opportunity as opposed to a burden.
Yeah, it's weird that they see it's almost like a badge of honor to feel so inconvenienced by Thanksgiving. It is a kind of virtue signaling that you're exactly right. That type of progressive media writer just loves to revel in. There's something it's specific about Thanksgiving too. I don't know if that's because it's often right after an election or something. Like it's your first chance to vent to friends and family about what happened, because there are obviously other times of the year where you might gather with family.
Most family. I think that's the holiday where the most family members get together, because many people spend Christmas with just their immediate family. It's about the kids, as opposed to, Thanksgiving is the biggest travel day of the year, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Growing up, we always did a big. Well, I guess we gathered for both. But Christmas was going to be everybody, the extended family, like step cousins, half cousins, people once and twice removed. Whereas Thanksgiving might be, my immediate family and just like aunts and uncles and grandparents or something. But
would you have any advice for people who are, whatever we have to say about it, like it or not, are going to be confronting some ideological enemies across the dinner table?
I mean, I do. I think it would be. I think it's better for everyone, healthier for everyone, practicing self-care, to not have politics invade every aspect of life. So, I think it would be maybe ideal to not if you're just going to scream at each other about politics, like just don't do that. And now probably all the progressive writers say, well, we're not the aggressors here. You know, my uncle shows up in a Trump hat, and then what choice do I have but to roll my eyes and then start this whole feud? But
okay, but do you want the left turkey leg, Robby, or the right turkey leg?
Oh, I want what do I want?
The white meat or the dark meat?
I like both. I like the dark. Some people don't like the dark meat. I like the dark meat.
That's insane. That is, I will say,
you
cultural
prefer the light?
Different. No, people. I absolutely prefer the dark meat. I don't think that this is like a subjective thing, but there are a lot of
most people prefer the light meat.
Yeah. That's insane.
Is it racist?
It's not. No, it's not racist. But I do think that
I like them both.
It is not something that I experienced in many black households. I'll say that.
What's your favorite element of the Thanksgiving spread?
I'm not a turkey eater. My mom makes a roast, and I prioritize the roast because there's always turkey left over, but the roast goes fast because it's delicious. And I am a big fan of macaroni and cheese, which my mother does not believe in for generalized kind of health reasons.
Those are some Thanksgiving adjacent
I buy
foods.
It. I make the mac and cheese because otherwise we don't have mac and cheese.
I want the stuffing. Love the stuffing.
Not a stuffing.
Want the stuffing, and I mostly want the turkey like leftover for turkey sandwiches, etc.
Okay.
Well, then I'll prefer I prefer the white meat for the leftover sandwiches. Day of, I'll have the dark meat. So
what I'm hearing is that we would be very simpatico.
Yeah, it sounds like this would
diners.
Work out just fine.
Look, if you want to hire Robby and I to come and moderate your Thanksgiving, as you've heard, we're not going to.
We could be like those anti-racism that deranged lady who has the anti-whiteness dinners or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
These, no.
Sarah Rao.
Oh, I know.
Did I make up that name? You know who I mean. She has me blocked. I can't find her.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Well, look,
we would love to come into your home.
It's premature for this year, but we can get something going. Set up a website for next year if you think our services would be needed.
Invite Briahna and Robby into your home. Feed us. Converse with us.
All right. We will have a great show coming up for you right after this.